Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Peace Dealer. This is your magical moon message. Moon in Aries, Sun in Aquarius. This is going to be a transit to remember, y'all. Let me tell you. Let me holler at you real quick. Shout out to the Quan Wiltshire. No, it's too cold for that. Basically, I was about to walk out barefoot. We are in the moon in Aries. This is the first time I brought y'all in my closet. We are in the moon in Aries transit. And the cool thing about the activation of these cycles is that everything happens pretty early, instantly. The flow of the mathematics here, which you'll see change maybe in about 6 months. Right now, we're having new moons at the beginning of the sign. Coming out of last year, we were having new moons at the end degrees of a sign. So now we're back into beginning it at the beginning of degrees of a sign. Super pimp, super badass. The sextile we had from the sun and Jupiter, while the moon was in Pisces, manifesting our belief in everything we know ourselves to be, is now giving you a raw, original, authentic understanding of your identity connected to who you know yourself to be. So while we had that Jupiter sextile, you were moving through the booster in that Mario Kart race, and now the moon going over Jupiter is another booster. So the moon when going over Neptune in Pisces was like in Mario Kart, you get that mystery box, and it could be a green shell, it could be a banana. The multi-potentiality and uncertainty principle with Pisces, and of course the imaginary ability for you to imagine anything kind of reflected that concept. And now you're getting ready to boost forward with the moon Jupiter conjunction. This is a 28-day cycle that last time we were in Capricorn season. Now we're in Aquarius season. And so this is the setup of planting supernatural seeds. This is the final part of the activation of this supernatural cycle. And this is getting ready to boost you towards the right direction, towards your authenticity, so that by the time we get into the moon in Taurus, you're already seeing practical, real-life evidence of the nature of what seeds you planted break through the ground. Ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be so fucking exciting because everything is happening so fast right now. This authentic understanding of who you know yourself to be is now activating original abilities and skills that for the next week from now you're going to be practicing until you master moon in Cancer. So this understanding of who you are is going to be supplemented in a week with the understanding of the feeling of who you are, integrating this knowledge. And relative to now the Neptunian synchronicities, this is going to have you tap more into the feeling of who you are, more authentically, like you're wearing those clothes, okay? So basically, new moon in Aquarius, you know you're a unicorn. The moon in Pisces, you are looking at a catalog of, ooh, I like those clothes. Ooh, I like these clothes. I like this horn. I might order this horn to replace the horn I have. Ooh, I like this unicorn a sleeve. Don't laugh. I like this unicorn neck sweater. And so now the moon is in Aries and you're practicing putting on the neck sweater. I want you to also mind the dynamic of expressing positivity and in any form, like just the actual energy of being positive, and now experiencing the counterbalance of negativity, because losers, idiots, and people who are generally insecure, they use words popular in social environments that have no meaning. Like if you take it out the meaning of like what it means socially, it's just used to wear at your psychology. It's just used to undermine your value in yourself, because a lot of society is filled with demon-possessed, insecure losers who focus so much on the external, they don't have substance inside. And so they have to feel better than others because they're not real. So they're constantly threatened by things around them. And this is going to be an amazing practical exercise to boss up over that frequency and vibe just by maintaining your security. And in that sense, you don't even have to do anything but just be yourself. Okay. These forces and influences put on the appearance of being cool, being powerful, but their actions don't reflect what they think themselves to be. Someone who is secure in themselves will approach you physically and let them know what's on your mind. Insecure people talk shit behind your back, negatively project frequencies to lower your confidence, project on you their insecurity because they have no confidence. And you don't have to respond to that. The fact that you're evoking that is proof that you're obviously who you know yourself to be, a very powerful and supreme individual. And so that's a form of victory. And you're going to be breaking through that with the element of this activation, because outside of the hypocritical nature of which said opposition and these outside influences bear to extremely project, a transit like this is going to help you see and understand this dynamic as something that has nothing to do with you, and just you being caught in the crossfire of insecure idiots who are just so bothered by how much power you have within yourself. And this is where you don't have to take my word for it. You know what I'm saying? Like, these same influences that project will never come to your face with that because they're terrified of you. Anyone who's secure in themselves wouldn't be threatened enough to project insecurity because they're secure. So really take that to heart, because the outside influences of Pluto and Capricorn reveal pathology and delusion in people who can't even back up their claims. It's just what they feel. And it's this psychotic, very fake nature of society today that, you know, you see dark forces using to puppet string people who don't have any sense of confidence or self. So they have to really follow external people who just share bullshit that has nothing to do with your soul development and growth, pushing this prosperity lifestyle that is completely meaningless and is a whole illusion. So don't be perturbed by that force in the culture that, first of all, they're beneath you because they lowered themselves. So the Pluto square to the moon in Aries is going to be extreme pressure towards a collective opinion that bears no weight on you because you know who you are. And it's going to feel like such an empowering feeling. The square is also going to intensely juxtapose more negativity from these insecure losers because they can't manipulate you. And this is where you can be looking homeless on the street, but feeling more confident in yourself than people who have designer clothes on, but care so much about what other people think. Who is really more valuable? The one who spent more fake fiat currency, or the one who doesn't need to spend that money to feel good? You see what I'm saying? So just you sitting in that individuality, of course, balance means you can look good and feel good. So I'm not saying you have to be a bum, but this is very, very important, because what you allow to get your attention, Moon in Aries is going to really test your reaction towards who you know you are. If you know you're a king, if you know you're a queen, then when people call you names and when people call you stuff, you're not going to respond to that, because that's not who you are. That's not what you are. And that's you taking your power back to where people have to address you as you are in order for you to pay them attention, because your attention is fucking valuable. Okay, that Jupiter moon conjunction, thank you. That Jupiter moon conjunction is expanding, very powerful, this understanding of yourself that's going to enable you to do more in the expression of these attitudes. Some of you may have found that you're entertaining people who on the surface look powerful, look intelligent. They don't hold a candle to you. I'm talking about if you had to deal with them one-on-one, outside of them having to play on psychological manipulative tactics. You know how someone will preach to a choir? So they're not really talking to you. They're just saying what other people want to hear. So it'll sound like they're getting more support, even though they're not saying anything. Anyone who has to rely on that, you don't have to be threatened by. They're not saying anything. You're going to be more aware of these dynamics, and it's going to help sort out the attitude and the approach of who you know yourself to be as you move towards the direction of harvesting this knowledge and energy. It's going to be a Pluto square like this that highlights how jealous and envious outside influences, even if just an archetype, are of you with how secure you are. And the Chiron moon will help you understand vulnerabilities and how to accept eccentricities that are a part of your character. Because this is your world. So like nobody can really tell you you're someone you're not. Tell them to eat a dick and put them in their place. This is a lot of what you're going to be doing with this Moon in Aries transit, and it's going to feel so empowering. You're going to revisit lies you told yourself about why you're not worthy or why you're not bold. You're going to replace it with the truth. And this, of course, is going to trigger those dark forces in the form of insecure individuals who wish to maintain that old frame or change the frame into an old frame, and as they show themselves, cut their heads off. Let them know they can suck your dick, especially if you have a clit. Like, there has to be a vulgarity here. We're not doing peace, love, and harmony. Maybe if we had like a Libra, Leo energy. This is combatant. This is vulgar. It's reckless. This is the third house Aries energy as you are now activating the attitude of the cycle you started. Don't get caught up and distracted by mere peons who are cowards. Like, they will not get in your face and address this. So they want to distract you by projecting negativity. This is now your test to maintain the attitude of someone who doesn't bother themselves with low lives, who are coming from a lower place. You are maintaining the sovereign focus on who you know yourself to be. So welcome that challenge. The best thing about this are the opposing frequencies, because you're going to put them in their place and they're going to be so much more jaded and bitter because you're minding your business, they're minding yours. And that one-sided relationship speaks more about the quality of what you're activating than anything they're trying to like paint pictures and illusions around, because you're going to effectively bust through that just by being yourself, not by trying to engage with them in the 3D. Okay, don't get caught up in trying to respond to losers. They're just intimidated by you. Don't even take that personal. It's not even you. So with that being said, it's a good sign you're headed in the right direction. Once again, these people will not see you. It's all just for an effect. It's all just for a show, for them to feel better about themselves. If anything, all they really need is all they really deserve. I mean, I'm not going to say they even deserve this, but the only thing you need to give them is pity. The reason why I'm speaking about other people is the 90-degree square with Moon and Pluto, which evokes outside influences from a collective frequency and opinion and vibe. Regardless, this is going to be the straight shot forward into more dynamic and active understanding in who you are. And you don't have to apologize about your attitude for anybody. Stand firm and hold space. If it's unpopular and not what other people do, now that's officially something that makes you cool. It's not something that you have to fit into other people who don't even know who they are, talk less of you. Okay? Because, some people might have to find out the hard way today and tomorrow who the fuck you are, who the fuck you is. And this is going to be activating abilities attached to the energy and supernatural knowledge you have sowed the seeds for, that once the moon goes from Taurus to Cancer, you'll start to integrate and master. So what abilities are you excited about activating? Because this is all tied into who you understand yourself to be. I know I'm endless forever. I'm the unicorn magician. And so as I step more into that character, I know my authenticity is going to rub other people off the wrong way who just want my attention because they know that they can never step to me. So they have to play these duplicitous mind games. It's not going to work on me. I'm a king. I am a whole king. So I'm only going to focus my attention on those who can meet me on my level. And anyone else who wants my attention, try again later, okay? You see the difference between that? You see, you can literally feel the regalness in that, and people can feel whatever they want, but will they bring it to my face though? I fucking thought so, okay? And that's the magical moon message. Get saucy with this. Really get live with this. Really get amped with this, because you're building your power. You're building your strength as a conscious being who cannot be fucked with. Yeah, they can mess with your body, but they can never mess with your soul. And so I hope you enjoy this. Regardless of what names people call you, focus on who you know yourself really to be and watch how no one steps to that with anything unless it's out of integrity. They're not going to do it in integrity because you're in integrity. Y'all stay blessed. Godspeed.